So let us start Deep Water. This is all about the author William Douglas. He has graduated with Bachelor's of Art in English and Economics, and he spent 2 years teaching high school in Yakima. He retired in 1975 with a term lasting 35 years and remained the longest serving justice in the history of the court. So the following excerpt is taken from Of Man and Mountain by William O. Douglas. It reveals how a young boy, William Douglas, nearly drowned in the swimming pool. In this essay, he talks about his fear of water and thereafter how he finally overcome it. And this chapter also tells us that our childhood experiences play a vital role in formation of our personality and how these experiences remain with us throughout our life, having a positive and negative impact on us. So here before I should start the chapter, just want to tell you about the different types of phobias. So in this chapter, William Douglas, he has the water phobia, hydrophobia, that will come under the natural environment. Different types of phobias are described here, like social phobias are there, the natural environments, and some people are very scared of animals, and some phobias are situationals, like driving, leaving the home, the fear of bridges, etc. So in this chapter, Douglas has the hydrophobia of water. So let us talk about the theme of deep water. As already described a lot, the deep water deals with the childhood fear of Douglas. The misadventure at YMCA pool developed an aversion of water in him, and he suffered from hydrophobia. So this chapter focuses on the fact that childhood fear must never be treated lightly, and if they are not tackled, they can make a very deep inroads into one's psychology. And we must fight the fear, otherwise it will overpower us. These are the textbook paragraph. Let us start from the first one. It had developed when I was 10 or 11 years. So I here, because this is an autobiographical account, so I here stands for William Douglas, and he is describing his experience by saying, he narrates that when he was 10 or 11 years of old, when he had joined YMCA pool to learn swimming, he did not go to Yakima River to swim, as it was considered very dangerous. Treacherous means very dangerous, and this shows that he had a prior fear of water. Come to the second paragraph. Mother continuously warned against it and kept fresh in my mind the details of the each drowning in the river. So in these lines, in this paragraph, the William says that William's mother would warn him not to go near to the Yakima River, and she always discussed the various incidents of the drowning, and he felt that the pool at YMCA was safer. The shallow area of the pool was only 2 or 3 feet deep, while the deep area was 9 feet deep. The slope also from the shallow area to the deep area was not too steep, and the good point was that he got a pair of water wings to prevent drowning. So he did not like to wear that swimming costume which exposed to his thin legs. Look at the word, skinny legs. But as he was keen to swim, he gave up his self-respect and he wore it. Skinny here means very thin. So come to the next paragraph. From the beginning, however, I had an aversion to the water when I was in it. That this started when I was 3 or 4 years of old. So he says, the William, he remembered that the fear started when he was only 3 to 4 years age, and he went to the beach in California with his father, and there something has happened with him that he was nearly drowned. He was just buried in the water, and that incident has a great impression on him. That's why he said that he was very much afraid of water, and from this incident onwards, the terror in my heart at the overpowering force of the waves. The terror started after this incident. So aversion means dislike. And knocked me down, threw him down, buried under the water. My introduction to the YMCA pool revived the unpleasant memories. Before memories, the word is used unpleasant. Why unpleasant? Because already this incident has happened when he was 3, and there was a terror inside his mind. So when William joined the swimming pool at YMCA, the fear of water again he resurfaced in his mind. He gathered confidence by watching other boys, apping by trying to copy other boys. He had done this twice or thrice at different occasions and had started gaining confidence. When the incident happened, he had a narrow escape from death. This misadventure happened. Again, something has happened with Douglas. So we'll discuss what happened. This misadventure considered to the another incident happened with him. I went to the pool when no one else was there. The place was quiet and the water was still. The tile bottom was as white, as clean as the bathtub, and I was timid about going in alone. So I sat on the side of the pool to wait for the other boys. So when William reached the pool, no one was there. So he sat on the edge of the pool waiting for other boys to arrive because he was afraid to swim all alone in the pool, and the swimming pool was empty. So William could see the bottom also, and it had a white and colored tiles on it, and it looked clean as a bathtub. Yes, come to the next one. I had not been there long when in came a big bruiser of a boy. Yes, big bruiser, a person who is very tough and aggressive and enjoys a fight or argument. A big boy of probably 18 years. He came there, he had a thick hair on his chest and with rippling muscles. Rippling means moving muscles. He was very strong. He yelled, he called, "Hi skinny, hi skinny, hi skinny" to William Douglas because he was very thin. How would you like to be ducked? With that, he picked me up, tossed me into the deep end. The boy picked William, threw him into the deep end of the pool. William landed on the surface of the pool in the same position as he was sitting in. His mouth was open. He did not know swimming. He swallowed water. As he sank into the pool, he was frightened, but he used his intelligence, and on his way, he planned to push himself up when he reached the bottom. So while he was going down, he made a planning, and he thought that he would make a big jump to the surface, lie on his back and swim to the edge of the pool. So that was the planning of William Douglas when he was going inside the water in a sitting position. It seemed a long way down. Those 9 feet were more like 90. Yes, The pool was 9 feet deep, but it seems to William Douglas that it was 90. The depth was 90 feet instead of 9. He could not hold his breath and felt as if his lungs is ready to burst. But his feet touched the bottom of the pool. He gathered all his strength and jumped upwards according to his plan. And he had thought that the next moment he would come out of the pool, but the opposite happened. His movement upwards was slow. When he opened his eyes, he saw nothing but yellowish water. And William got scared. He tried to grab something, a rope, which would help him reach the edge of the pool, but he got nothing other than water. William was at loss of breath, tried to scream for help, but no sound came out of his mouth. His nose, eyes came out of the water, but not his mouth. So that was the experience of William Douglas when he was inside the water. I fled at the surface of water, swallowed, choked. I tried to bring my legs, but they hung as a dead weights, paralyzed and rigid. William tried to save himself from drowning and tried to grab something, but as there was water all around, he could do nothing so. He compares his situation to a person who sees nightmare and fights against a dreadful dream, but is unable to ward himself. And I screamed, but only the water heard me. I had started on the long journey back to the bottom of the pool. So according to his plan, his feet was touched. He made a jump, but the jump only his eyes and mouth came. Again, the long journey back to the bottom has started. I struck at the water as I went down, expending my strength as one in the nightmare. Already I have told you that this experience was just like a person who sees a nightmare and fights against a dreadful dream. And William was also breathless. He felt pain in his lungs. His head felt a sensation of beating. He was getting unconscious, but he could recollect the plan to save himself, and his feet touched the bottom. He would take a leap and jump up to the surface. Then he would lie on the back and hit the stroke with his limbs and reach to the edge of the pool. So again he applied the same planning which already he has made. Throbbed here means the felt pain in the series of beat. And he was dizzy. Dizzy means just about to become unconscious. I went down endlessly. I opened my eyes, nothing but water with a yellow, dark water one could not see through. William sank into the pool and the journey downwards seemed endless. He opened his eyes. There was water all around, and that water was of yellowish glow. And this terrorized William. He says that his feelings cannot be explained, but it can only be understood by those who have experienced a similar situation. He was screaming in water. He was unable to move due to the fear, and his screams also froze. His heart beat, and the beating in his head indicated that he was alive. And in the midst of the terror came a touch of reason. I must remember to jump when I hit the bottom. So again he remembered the same planning, that he had to jump when he will touch the bottom. So I jumped with everything I had in the midst of between, but the jump made no difference. Then he started going downwards in the pool of the third time. He tried to breathe, but only swallowed water. The light went out as he drowned again, and he stopped making his efforts to save himself. The stark terror took me even a deeper hold, like a great charge of electricity. I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move, my legs wouldn't move, and I tried to call for help, to call for mother, but nothing happened. And then strangely, there was a light. I was coming out of the awful yellow water. Then I started going third time. Again, William, he was going downwards. This is the third time. And then all efforts ceased. All efforts, he became unconscious. All efforts were stopped. He became so relaxed. Even his legs felt the limbs. And these were no panic. It was quiet and peaceful. He has a different experience now. Different experience, like nothing to be afraid. This is the nice to be drowsy. And it is now nice to be carried gently, to float along the space. Tender arms around me, tender arms like my mother. Now I must go to sleep. I must go to sleep means he just becoming unconscious, and all his efforts were stopped. Then I crossed to the oblivion, and the curtain of the life fell. Nearly in this paragraph, William expresses his feelings like he has experienced the death. He experienced the death, and after this incident, he says the curtain of life fell. He did not remember anything. So this is the end of the part 1.